from My News 26 and CCTV. It's high school football, coming to you this season from schools throughout the region. This 26 Sports and CCTV high school football presentation is brought to you by Cadillac Casting Incorporated.
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cadillac Veterans Memorial Stadium. Dan Gusser and I bringing you the game here on a rainy, windy Friday night, a little bit different than last week, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely it is. I think we're getting ready for our national anthem here, and some kind of some honor guard and some veterans in the area. You can see down on the field, we're kind of honoring them here tonight.
It's the Cadillac Area Honor Guard, led by Greg Burke, the executive officer, is here tonight. And we're going to have a special ceremony. And we just want to thank all of our men and women that have served our country, are serving now, our veterans that have served. And that's what we're doing tonight. They're going to have the football team shake hands, too.
Yeah, they're not going to announce the starters tonight, Bill. It's all about the men and women out on the field and honoring them and our country. And then both teams, if we understand correctly, are going to go out and shake hands with these folks.
We have Jason Johnson, our PA announcer. We'll listen to him for a second. Of our national anthem by the Cadillac High School Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Mike Filkins and the Cadillac Area Honor Guard.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the different military corps flags step onto the field here, perhaps. I noticed with the wind as strong as it is, Bill, I think it was the Marine Corps flag was just about blown out of that young man's hands. It was pretty rough out there.
No, yeah, it's really whipping up.
So you can see as the flag is being marched off the field, we can see the Godwin Heights players coming across the field to shake hands with representatives of the military branches. And then I think the Viking teams are going to do that too, Bill.
This is really cool, Dan. Just to, it's special too for Godwin Heights to come up here and just be a part of this. You know what I mean? It's something that they won't forget. It's not just a regular game coming up here and playing. They have that, that extra honor, bestowed on the game.
Yeah, and it's kind of a shame the weather is as bad as it is, and surely that's keeping a lot of the crowd from arriving early to see this. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of life here in northern Michigan. You can see a lot of the veterans in our area. I can see John Warden down there, happens to be my neighbor.
Yeah.
And a lot of others. And I know in my personal family, I've had people, my dad served, my brother served. I appreciate everything that they went through to allow us to have the freedoms and the rights that we have and will always have here in America.
Yep, absolutely. Terry's, her dad served, my dad served. I've got my son Joe and my daughter Kelsey, doing Navy service. So it's all around. Each family has a connection in some way or another, whether it's uncle or grandfather, grandmother, whoever it is. And
we should commend the Godwin Heights school system and the Cadillac school system here for organizing this and getting this up and running to do here tonight.
Right.
There's a lot of work behind the scenes to get a presentation like this up and running and going, and they did a nice job getting that ready for the folks here.
Yeah, and Maddie Matson and Fred Bryant, in our athletics, office, great job on all the work they do behind the scenes. All right, Dan, while we have a second here, I want to go over the Godwin Heights coach. The head coach is Brandon Kimball.
Brandon Kimball.
We had a talk with him before the game. The assistant coach is Chris Pulliams, David Drake, Mark Tucker, Mitchell Dawkins, Sam Jones, and Barry Luck. Now, maybe we can do the Cadillac coaches because we never get a chance to.
Yeah, absolutely. Assistant coaches for the Vikings here tonight: Dave Cox, Ted Reisinger, Pat Hinkle, Todd Baker, Mark Cronkite, Matt Logan, Nick Swiger, John Rosale. Hopefully I got your name right there, John. Zach Griffin, Stephen Cooper, Nate Metzger, and head coach Cody Mallory.
All right. And the JV game was played right before the varsity game. That usually doesn't happen, but that was nice for Godwin to come up like kind of a 2-for-1 special. That ended in a 20-20 tie, so that was a really good game. And
we're going to see for the Vikings, if you watched last week's game, a very different kind of an offense here tonight. Last week we saw the power running of the Alpena Wildcats, and tonight we're going to see a spread offense and trying to get tremendous athleticism of the Godwin Heights Fighting Wolverines out in the open field.
Both teams come in at 1-3. Cadillac is 1-1 in the Big North, and Godwin Heights is 1-1 in their conference. 93 points for, 93 points against for the Wolverines. And we'll have to see on the starting quarterback. They've got a couple quarterbacks listed, Dan, on the list. Carlos Hernandez is one of them. Jose Vasquez. And then also, there was one other one here, right there, Jamonte Burrell. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, Edwin Daniels, Bill, number 18 here, has got the tee in his hand, and the football is going to be presented to him, and he'll be kicking off. Edwin is a senior. He's also a linebacker here.
The wind has maybe died a little bit.
Yeah, and I know as the evening goes on, I thought the forecast was for the winds to start to die down a little bit. And
right.
I looked at the radar before I got here, Bill, and it looked like the rain was kind of out of our area, but it's pop-up kinds of things, so we may see some more roll through.
For the Vikings, back deep, looks like we have Alec Barszewski. And usually Tip Baker is back there
Tip,
too.
I think, is there. They've scooched up to the 15-yard line, so I think they got a scout here that we're not going to see a far kickoff.
It is a short kick taken at the 25-yard line by Barshevsky. Barshevsky running left, and he'll make it almost to the 35, and that's where the Vikings will start business.
Last week, Bill, if you remember, Cadillac got the ball first, and I think on the first or second play, an interception occurred. Alpena had the ball deep in Viking territory. Hopefully our game here tonight doesn't start that way for the Cadillac team, and certainly Muskegon, they want that ball, so they'll be looking for it.
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever seen a 3rd down and 59 in my life.
So Cadillac comes out in their power formation. We'll probably see a little motion here, and we do.
Keeping it is Tip Baker up the middle, and he's got a couple yards to start the game off. We try and get the numbers. At least we can see the numbers. It's a nice contrast there on the Michigan Wolverine type uniforms.
We see the Vikings running right. They were very successful in the 4th quarter last week, running to the right side, their right side, against that Alpena defense.
Looks like linebackers, Jaquan Johnson is one of them, number 55 for Godwin Heights. Tip Baker at the line for the Vikings. Baker, hands right up the middle. Barshevsky busts through, and he's got some daylight. Barshevsky all the way down to the 36. A nice run there.
Lewis Richardson with the touchdown-saving tackle there, but a huge play by Barshevsky right off the bat.
And Barshevsky had some nice runs last week on that option play. Remember some of those, Dan, where he was holding to the last second?
Godwin Heights has come out here kind of a 4-4 defense. This time the Vikings go with a little different look with a bunch of split receivers.
Yeah, they got 2 split out to the right, 1 to the left. There's a handoff inside. And once again, that is Isaac Hyde, number 44.
Hyde with a nice run of at least 12 yards, maybe 14.
First down for the Vikings. They'll move the sticks again, and right off the bat, they're chunking off some yardage here.
Well, they've come off the ball. That offensive line is really moving players. As you see the Viking backs, they're not getting touched until they're 4 or 5 yards down the field.
Yeah, Ethan Pritchard is the center for the Vikings. Number 65, he'll be one of our featured player profiles. Barshevsky in motion. There's a give up the middle again, and once again, it's Hyde, and Hyde is all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Lewis Richardson back there, he's going to be tired of tackling guys. And certainly Godwin Heights doesn't expect him to be, making the tackles that far downfield.
Looks like Jaquan Johnson there was talking to the referee, maybe like a hold.
I kind of got that impression too as he was doing that. He's the middle linebacker right in there.
Yep. So Logan Wild is split out to the right, and then they've got Matthew Green to the left for the Vikings. Barshevsky in motion. Give right up the middle again.
Yep.
This time the Wolverine defense holds on only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, but Vikings start this possession, second or first and goal. They were only on the 6-yard line. I think they're probably around the 4, maybe the 3.5 here now. So they're down in 4-down territory. And the way that the middle of the field's been open to them, I don't see the Vikings going away from that or coming to the near side or their right side.
When you look at the gap right now, Dan, on the left side, it would be that's exactly where the Vikings tried to run it. Nice play there, shooting in number 20. That is Jaden Ivey, the senior, and he just cut that play off.
He did, and the Vikings did gain ground on that. They're 3rd and 4. Or 3rd and goal from the 2, So they've gained a couple yards on each one of those plays, and they'll take that right now. But they don't want to lose yards. They want to just keep moving it forward. Maybe Baker with the ball this time, Bill.
Baker straight up the middle on a keeper, and it looks like he's into the end zone. Well, there's the call.
The signal.
Vikings touchdown at the 8:58 mark in the first quarter. The Vikings strike first, 6-0. That was a nice drive, a quick drive led by Barshevsky and Isaac Hyde with some good yardage.
We got an injury down on the field here, Bill. We got a Godwin Heights player down, and while they attend to him, I'm going to let you know who our sponsor crew is here tonight. Our presenting sponsor, up on the board in front of your vision, is Cadillac Casting. Fox Motors of Cadillac is sponsoring, Cadillac Tire, LC Materials, Douglas, and Pizza Plus are our sponsors for tonight's game. Thank you to those area businesses. Appreciate it.
I'm trying to get a number here, Dan.
I think that might be number 55, Bill, who would be that middle linebacker, or is that 52?
It looks like a 2.
We don't have a 52. That's what I'm wondering
is
if
there a
it's
62? Nope, no 62 either.
While we try to figure out that number from our vantage point here, how about a big hats off, Bill, for our camera crew out there in this weather here tonight. Bryce Emery, Aiden Johnson, and Gabby Long, they're going to earn their keep out there. I think that is 62 or 82, Bill.
I'm seeing a 62.
62?
Now, we do have one player without a number. That's Freddie Clark.
Let's see if we can find out who that is from the Godwin Heights crew behind us. It's their radio crews up here. Nice round of applause from the crowd here.
Yeah, he's being helped off the field, so he's got some sort of a ankle or knee leg injury. So we just hope that it isn't too serious, Stan.
Yeah, they already have a few players not playing tonight due to injury, Bill, and we'll mention some of those names later on, everybody. Is the Vikings, well, they got at least 20 seconds here because they're not going to get this playoff well. He's still being helped off the field.
Yeah, everybody's ready to go. They got about 5 yards to go to get off the field, and he's really moving slow.
White Vine Dining is our director in the truck tonight, staying nice and dry, and doing the graphics tonight and replay, hopefully, is Isabel Granados.
All right, clock is stopped here at 8:58 to go in the first quarter. Vikings are looking to tack on the extra point as Libby Lloyd, number 10, approaches, puts it up, and it is good. Good job by Libby on the extra point, and the Vikings make it 7-0 here.
That's not easy to do in this weather, Bill.
Right.
The snap's got to be good. The hold's got to be good. The ball's wet. The field's wet. And there's a little bit of a wind. So nice job by the Vikings.
So now we'll get to see the Wolverine offense go into action here.
Well, when you've given up 61 points and you got thumped pretty soundly by a team last season like Cadillac did, you know, those players that are returning, and there's a lot of pride on their part,
right.
Coaching staff included, and you know, they want to come out and say it ain't happening again this year. So
especially on the home field.
Especially on home field. So nice start for the Vikings. We'll see how they tend to kick. We may see the Vikings directional kick to keep the ball away from the back speed there of Kaylin Brown deep for Godwin Heights. So Kaylin is a senior. And they are going to kick away from him.
Taken by, 22? Look at the speed going right there. Busts a couple tackles all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Is that Lewis Richardson, number 22 on that?
22.
Yeah.
Lewis, the senior.
Can we get a replay of that? Did we get that on replay?
Lewis Richardson, he's the wide receiver and defensive back, and that was a great return for Lewis.
Looks like we did not get a replay of that, and it's probably a good thing because Godwin Heights has come right to the line here.
Now we're going to have to see who we've got. We got split out C.J. Weems to the left, quarterback. We'll get that to you in just a second. It's a keeper. Met right there at the line of scrimmage by the Viking defense, and no gain. Okay, so Diamante Clark, number 4, is, and we don't even have him listed as a quarterback, Dan, so we'll see if that, if Diamante will stay in there at the quarterback position. Look like he is. They've got trips to the right. They've got 2 split out to the left. In motion, keeping it is Clark. Clark's still on his feet, and then he stood up at the 40.
That's number 55 for the Vikings with that initial tackle, Ryan Cox.
And 70 also in on that, Dakota Simerson for the Vikings.
Tip Baker also getting credit from the PA announcer on that tackle. I think Tip was the one that sent him backwards after the first 2 guys had him tied up a little bit. 3rd and 5, Bill.
3rd and 5 for Wyoming. Godwin Heights the Fighting Wolverines. Like their jerseys. Single back. And this time it's passed out. Nice job there. First down. 17, that's Marshawn Neeland. And that time taking the snap was Xavion McDonald.
And Xavion's a lefty. Kind of threw me off to see him go to that hand. Xavion
Xavion is a senior.
and number 5 out there.
And 5, so
Right.
it looks like we're going to get a little bit of, some different personnel back there at quarterback.
So he's short as we go to 4th down here, Bill. 4th and about a yard. Big play right away here. Vikings hoping to get off, the defense that is, get off the field real quick.
Diamante Clark will take the snap out of the shotgun. Bobbled just for a second, but he's got the first down on the right side and more. Clark is run out of bounds at the 17. Nice job there to handle that wet football.
We saw last week as Alpena on 4th and very short broke that initial line of scrimmage and took it into the end zone.
Right.
I think the only thing in there that helped the Vikings is he went short side of the field, or if he knew on the wide side and had that opening, he may have scored. He's pretty quick.
Yes, he is. Split out to the left is this time C.J. Weems. In motion, keeping it is Xavion McDonald.
Fumble.
We got a fumble.
Xavion
It's
kicks
going
that
to
up.
be
The
Cadillac
Vikings
ball.
recovered. I don't know who
Number
made
9. We got the recovery for Cadillac.
That's Cole. Cole Flint. Yeah, and I don't know who started the tackle, who knocked him down. Cole Flint gets the recovery. Big play right there, the Vikings, as they squash that drive by the Fighting Wolverines.
And down on the field is 55. That looks like Jaquan Johnson. And he's getting up very slow. They can't afford to lose another player here, so we got a timeout on the field with the Cadillac Vikings up 7-0, and just making that recovery was Cole Flint. And Flint is a senior, 5'8".
So, Bill, we've got some big games in the area here tonight. In the Highland Conference, if we start there, McBain is traveling to Pine River tonight. Pine River looking to stay undefeated in the conference and overall. Lake City undefeated in the conference and overall is traveling down to Beale City. And that leaves Manton and Everett tangling here tonight.
Right. Vikings at their 15-yard line. Give up the middle, not much. I think that was Hyde on a 1-yard gain. That was Isaac Hyde.
Our other truck tonight, folks, is in Mesick, where Marion has traveled over to Mesick for an 8-man football game. And certainly there's some big games in the Big North Conference here, which Cadillac is a member of.
So looking on defensively, we've got number 40, Jalen Reese, and Marcel Johnson on that interior line for the Wolverines. Now rolling out to his right is Tip Baker. He pitches, almost fumbled. It is fumbled.
Yep.
And it's picked up
Picked
there
up by number 1,
Kalen
Kalen
Brown.
Yep. Yeah, bounced right out of the hands of number 44 right there. Isaac Hyde tips pitch maybe a little dangerous as he tried to make the first man miss and then did, and drew the defenders to him and had to pitch it at the last second, and unfortunately the Vikings give it right back.
Basically, Godwin Heights is where they fumbled the ball. So it's like a little bit of time passed and they still have the ball there. 6:42 to go in the first quarter. Both teams have just traded off fumble. And it'll be first
Look
down.
at this look here by Godwin. They've got everybody split out in motion.
Yeah. Clark
everything
is going to keep it, looking for a spot, and he's taken down by Tip Baker for maybe a yard loss.
Yeah, I would say he lost a yard there. Yeah, so in that exchange of possessions there, the Vikings actually pushed Godwin back about 5 yards because I think they recovered on the 15-yard line, and right now they're almost back to the 20.
So it's going to be second down and 11. Into the game comes number 6. That's Damari Parks, the sophomore. Is that a 6 or a 5, Dan?
I didn't catch it, Bill.
It might have been Xavier. That was Xavier McDonald, number 5. He's
taking the snap this time. Nope,
with
he looks like he is, Bill.
Yeah, it looks like he is. Clark is to his left. Xavier will fake the handoff, tries to run left, and he'll dive forward to the 15.
Boy, that's a lot of speed in the initial backfield with number 4 DeMonte Clark and number 5 Xavier McDonald. You've got to key on one player. That's your responsibility, and you've got to make sure whether he has the ball or not, you're wrapping that guy up, because if you key on the wrong guy, they're going to go. If you don't cover your responsibility right there, and the Vikings did a nice job with it.
Let's see who the center is. Number
same look.
64. That's Caleb Castillo. Dean is the center junior for Godwin Heights.
He's done a nice job with the shotgun snap so far, Bill, in this weather.
There's a fake handoff. Keeping it is going to be Xavier McDonald. He's taken down hard there by Barshevsky along with number 2. That was
Julian Jimenez Noriega.
They call him Juju.
Juju.
Yes.
Juju Smith-Schuster of the Pittsburgh Steelers maybe earned him that
That's
nickname.
Right. 4th down and 3.
So you like this Muskegon Godwin Heights uniform? I'm a big Sparty fan here, Bill, so we may have to argue about that a little later on here.
Yeah.
But 4th and 4, big play.
Yeah. I just like the looks of it. It's not like I'm a State or Michigan fan per se, but just like the look of the uniform.
It's the home uniform of the Michigan Wolverines. They look sharp.
Who is going to take the snap here? Looks like Xavier.
We got a timeout, or do we have a delay of game? I think we
Maybe
got
a
a helmet issue
issue.
going on. Nice job by the officials right there to take care of that.
And I wonder if we have a chance to get our first player profile in, Dan.
We'll start doing that here, Bill, and
Well,
that's going to be Ethan Pritchard. He's a senior, number 65, and his parents are Brent and Terry Pritchard. And we'll watch this play, and then I'll get you a little more detail.
All right, 4th down and 3. Fake the handoff, taking a look in the end zone. Oh, just over the hands of number 17. That was Marshawn Neeland. And
the Vikings take over on possession. Ethan Pritchard, one of our player profiles tonight. He's one of our captains. Besides playing football, Ethan plays varsity baseball. He is part of the National Honor Society, and he's part of the Cadillac High School String Orchestra. In his spare time, Ethan loves to hang out with his friends and play with his dog, Titus. His favorite athlete is a soccer player, Lionel Messi. After high school, Ethan plans to attend college, preferably at the University of Michigan. Congratulations, Ethan, being one of our player profiles tonight.
Handoff up the middle. Nowhere to go on that play. And Ethan was in the newspaper the other day, Dan, the Cadillac News, because he is one of the finalists for the National Scholarship.
Yeah, the Merit Scholarship.
Merit Scholarship.
Congratulations, certainly, and
him and Alex
awesome
Nexley.
Accomplishment along with Alex, you know, for him and certainly their families.
Yep. I know that that my kids, when they were in high school, they had Mrs. Pritchard as a teacher. So, all right, coming up the line, we got 2nd down and 8. Tip Baker looking to pass. There's a slant pattern, and it's a little bit low, and Logan Wild tried to make the diving catch.
First throw we've seen tonight from the Vikings.
Last week he had Logan open a couple times down the sideline, just a little bit underthrown, and that one was the same thing, just a hair underthrown.
3rd and 8 here for the Vikings.
You want to get a little bit of yardage here just so you're not kicking so deep.
Vikings are going to come out with a little bit of a closed-in look here. Just the one split receiver, and he's isolated, and that might be what the Vikings go to.
They're going to pitch it and hold. He's going to be thrown for a loss by, let's see if we can get some numbers there. I know
started
Marshawn
with number 12
Neeland.
right there, I think, which is Jose Vasquez.
Yep. And Neeland definitely was in on at number 17.
17, Neeland also on that. A little bit of trouble with that pitch.
Yeah, they're having, it's the Alpena games seem to be really clean, but I know that the weather's a little different here.
And I don't know if his hand, if he was hit by a player in there as he made that pitch, Baker might have been, or if it was just the ball's too slippery.
Is that Cole Flint, number 9, with the, okay, just gets it off. Angles to the sideline. It takes a favorable bounce for Godwin Heights, and the Vikings will pick it up at the 36. So great field position for Godwin Heights as they start on in the deep in Cadillac territory.
Yeah, 30, 35-yard line. So this will be their third possession. They've had great field position for all three, Bill, and the Cadillac defense has been up to the task.
All right. Listen to Jason Johnston here. All right, they got trips split out to the left. Single receiver on the right. Taking it is Xavier McDonald.
He's got a lot of room, Bill.
Xavier cuts back to the middle, and he's down, first down. I'm going to say he's over the 25.
He didn't think he was down. He kept going, but the play had been whistled dead. First down.
Yep, they'll move the markers, and it's going to be right near the 25-yard line with 2:37 to go here in the first quarter. Dan Gussert along with Bill Dooley are bringing the action here tonight from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
I have to have a little talk with Fred Bryant here, Bill, because in the last couple of minutes, the smell, the aroma from the grill going down behind or below us, all the dogs and things getting cooked is starting to waft wafer up this way, and it's making me hungry.
Xavier McDonald, this time hands off to Deontay Clark, and he's stacked up right there by Tip Baker, Ryan Cox, and
nice job by the Vikings right there. Maybe Tip Baker leading in that tackle. Bill, we've got retired athletic director Rich Giddens up here down from us in the press box. Good to see him back. Rich is running the score clock tonight here at the stadium.
He's awake still.
Those retired guys, you never know.
That's right. So it is 2nd and 9 for the Wolverines at the 25-yard line. Xavier looking deep. And the Vikings almost intercepted that. Good position there was Juju Noriega.
That is just excellent coverage, Bill.
Yes.
He was in perfect position. Godwin Heights threw that ball up with, hoping their player could just come down with it. And because of his positioning and really good athleticism.
The wind definitely batted that thing down.
3rd and about 9.5.
And that was intended for number 8, C.J. Weems. Viking defense looking for a big play right here to force a 4th down. Xavier McDonald takes it. He's rolling out to the right. There's a pass, and it looks like it was knocked.
It was caught. What a great catch, a great throw, and really solid defensive positioning by the Viking back right there. Is that
Colin Johnson, number 40. Oh, Matthew Green. Matthew Green, okay.
This was just, that was the play where offense was just a whisker better.
Yeah.
You were in really good position. The throw was right on the money and just beat you by a hair.
Did you get the receiver's number on that?
I did not on that, Bill.
I was just curious because I know Weems has been set out to the left, so it could have been
I think it was
Kalen Brown.
Yeah. We are about 45 seconds here till the end of the first quarter. It's 4th and just a little bit here for Godwin Heights.
Same thing, 4th and 4. Last time it was 4th and 3. Xavier, here's a pass out to the left to Deontay Clark. He's got some speed towards the sideline. Tries to cut it back, and Clark is into the end zone. Touchdown.
Celebrating real well should be celebrating real well is number 8, C.J. Weems, who early on in that play made an incredible block. Just an excellent job on his part. Sprung his teammate open, and
good job there by Xavier too to lay it right out there so he didn't have to stop.
Yep.
And it looks like they're going to have we have here number 16 Marcel Johnson, and the hold. I don't know it might be Jose Vasquez, number 12.
It is Vasquez.
Okay. A high snap taken by
Busted
Vasquez.
Play.
Vasquez is going to be swallowed up there by the Viking defense, and it'll be a 7-6 game here with 28 seconds to go in the first quarter.
And who got that TD, Bill?
The TD was Clark, Deontay Clark, on a swing pass out of the backfield.
And that was from?
That was from Xavier McDonald.
Excellent, Bill. Just checking your memory.
All right. So the Vikings will get the ball back here with a little over 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. good game here. Both offenses have made some nice drives. Wyoming Godwin Heights has had some good field position to start off, so that's the Vikings defense needs a little break right now.
Yeah, I would agree. The Vikings need to get a few first downs here, give that defense a little bit of time to rest and have things discussed on the sidelines. Those that aren't playing both ways can get with defensive coaches. Baker, I think Todd Baker's one of the defensive gurus down there, always has been.
Looking at the size of the rosters, they're similar, Dan, especially when you throw in a couple injuries for Godwin Heights. So both teams are going to be playing. A lot of their players are playing on both offense and defense.
So the first kick tonight went to Barczewski. We'll see what Muskegon chooses to do here.
Cole Flint is the up back. The wind is in their face. A very short kick to the sidelines, and it'll go out.
The penalty flag.
Yep. Not allowing the Vikings to get any type of a return. Looking at the flag, we still have a decent wind coming almost straight from the west right now. So cross breeze, we've got 28.5. No time was ticked off on that because it was kicked out of bounds. Okay, they're going to have him re-kick, Dan.
I think you get the option.
All right. I'll get our shout out here to our sponsors real quick, Dan.
Fox Motors of Cadillac, Cadillac Tire, LC Materials, Pizza Plus, Doug Glass, and our presenting sponsor is Cadillac Casting.
And we appreciate every halftime here, Pizza Plus, bringing in some subs and pizza, and that is some good food.
Oh, yeah, and it's nice for all the volunteers up here doing all the things behind the scenes for, whether that's for you and I or the radio from the Muskegon crew behind us and people working all the clocks and announcing and everything going on up here.
But just a nice thing for Pizza Plus to do that week in and week out for the up here in the press box.
A lot of us, like you and I, Bill, we this isn't our number one job, but we have our other job, and we don't get a chance to stop somewhere or stop at home we head out of work and head over here.
Okay, Marcel Johnson, he's itching to get the kickoff going here. He approaches.
Squidner.
Low line shot taken up. The Vikings are going to get decent field position and taken right at the 40 down.
Who
was it?
Is Lewis Richardson.
Lewis Richardson, and number 40, that was Colin Johnston on the short return, but the Vikings gain a little bit of yardage there.
They get really good field position right on the 40.
I think they got maybe 10 yards they netted on that play.
Yeah, by choosing to have Godwin re-kick.
Mm-hmm. So we've got 23 seconds to go, first quarter.
I think we get a little bit of light rain starting to show up here as I'm seeing some people start to wrap up here and some stuff here in the crowd.
Keeping it is Tip Baker around the right side. Grabbed by the jersey there is Jacon Johnson with a very nice tackle. Nice job there by the Wolverines. Kalen Brown to help up Tip.
How about the strength of Tip to kind of rip through that and pick up another yard and a half as our clock's going to wind down here and end the first quarter, Bill, with the Vikings leading 7-6.
All right. You are watching high school football action on 26 Sports and CCTV. Dan Gusser and I will be back with the second quarter in just a moment.